Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my kitchen. We're here at the testing table, but we're not here to test any food today, at least not now, because I have another thing to talk about today. This was expected, of course. If you've seen my previous videos, you saw that I just released my 2 ebooks, The Definitive Guide to Losing Fat and Keeping It Off, and of course my lowest calorie cookbook. And I want to go through them a bit and talk about what to expect from these ebooks, a bit about what's in them, because the video presentations I released were just sort of like teasers. They didn't contain much information regarding exactly what to expect from these books. Let me just start out by saying a big thank you to everyone who already purchased the books and provided me with such amazing feedback. You guys are awesome, and I'm just at a loss for words, man. The amount of positive feedback I received on these books was just mind-blowing. So a big thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. It keeps me motivated, it keeps me pushing forward, and I will do the best that I can to provide good quality content just as before and even better than before, because I want to better myself. I want to improve in every way possible. I want to improve the quality of this channel, the quality of my videos, the quality of my recipes in every single aspect. And these ebooks will provide support for that, because I don't know how much aware you guys are of this situation, but having a recipe channel such as my channel, where I put out can really take its toll on my budget. I've been sustaining this from my daytime job, but as you can imagine, it's really expensive, man. There's no other way to go about it. You see the final recipe here on the channel, you see the ingredients, but what you don't see is how many times I attempt that recipe, how many ingredients I waste creating that recipe. And I'm telling you, man, the couriers delivering these ingredients to my house are 100% certain I have some illegal pastry operation running around here, especially the guy who delivers my egg whites. He only delivers to pastry shops and me. And I sometimes order more than the damn pastry shop. The other guy who delivers my protein powder, he's convinced that I'm a reseller, that I buy the protein and resell it for a higher price. That is the part you don't see, the part where this is really expensive and the part that is a lot of work. The work I cannot outsource, at least not at the moment, but some of the costs can be leveraged through your support, guys. So thank you very much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. It's a needed breath of fresh air for me. This will help me do my own thing so I can keep on keeping on, you know, and that means the world to me. And I'm so grateful I can do what I like. I can be in the kitchen, I can create recipes, I can share them with you, because for me that's the best feeling in the world, when I share a recipe and you guys make it and I receive awesome feedback on it. That is just the greatest feeling in the world. So again, thank you so much, guys. You are awesome. Okay, let's see what these ebooks are all about though. I'm gonna start with, of course, the Definitive Guide to Losing Fat and Keeping It Off. Yeah, it's a long name, I know. I didn't know what else to call it, but we can change the name in the future if need be. So what's with this ebook? In order for me to tell you about this ebook, I will need to tell you a bit about my past. Lots of you may not know this, but I used to be very overweight. I was overweight my entire life, and I even became obese in my early 20s. The weight started being a huge problem for me. I had anxiety, I had low self-esteem, I had low energy, I had trouble finding clothes, I had trouble fitting into society basically, so I needed to do something about it. And when I took that picture, the picture you see posted everywhere of me being fat, that was the key moment for me when I decided I no longer want to put up with this, I have to do something about it. Think about it, this was like 15 years ago. There wasn't any good quality information out there. There wasn't Coach Greg, there wasn't any YouTube channels providing good information on the subject. It was a crazy time of real uncertainty. Nobody knew exactly what the hell they were doing. Everyone was just trying out all sorts of crazy, wacky diets, I myself included. That is how I started. I started on all of these crazy diets I would yo-yo back and forth on. I would lose a bit of weight and then immediately regain it, then go to the next diet, lose the weight again, immediately regain the weight back, and so on and so forth. So for me this was a lot harder than it is for you guys nowadays, because I had to learn everything the hard way. I had to do research. I started researching nutrition, diets, exercise. I had to learn everything from scratch. There was nobody to tell me what to do, to tell me the precise information, because Right now, you can just get an ebook such as the one I put out, and you can just get all of the information right there, served on a platter to you. I didn't have that. I went at it the hard way. I had to learn every single bit of information that's in there. I had to make mistakes in every single field possible in order for me to draw a conclusion and say, hey, this is the way. This is the optimum way. This is how you do it. There was nobody telling me, hey, that's how you do it. No, I had to try like hundreds of different fucking things, and then I had to draw the conclusion for myself that that's the way to do it. And by the time I discovered Coach Greg, I already knew all of the principles he was preaching. Not all of them. The man still had quite a bit of information. I learned quite a lot from him, but most of the principles I already knew. So what's included in this ebook? Because that's where I'm going with this. I have included every single thing I know, every single thing I have learned, every single thing I have tested, every single bit of information I know about fat loss, about dieting, about training, exercising, nutrition, cardio. Every single thing I know is put into that ebook. And I will do my best to update that ebook, because my ebooks, both of them, are not fixed ebooks. They will be constantly updated with every single bit of new information. If I find new information on fat loss, if I find some of the methods I posted there aren't optimum, if I find a better way to do it, I will update that book and provide the new information and replace the old information, so we can constantly have top information for best possible results. So if you purchase this guide, then you will have all of my knowledge I've accumulated in over 10 years of research on the subject, so you don't have to do any research at all. Of course, you don't have to buy the guide, because all of the information is already there on the internet, but it's scattered throughout all of these YouTube channels, these studies, and in order to draw the conclusions I have, you will do pretty much a few years of research. Now you can just get the fat loss guide and you have all of the information at the click of a button. You don't have to do all of the research, you don't have to waste years of your life like I have coming up with these conclusions. So that is the guide to losing fat and keeping it off. Basically, it's every single thing I can possibly think of and every single thing I have learned over the past 10 years, all of my knowledge, all of my experience, all of my mistakes, everything I can provide to help you lose fat, to help you reach your goals. So if you struggle in this regard, if you struggle with weight problems, if you're overweight, if you're obese, then I highly recommend you get this book and start applying the principles there today. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll finally reach your weight loss goals. But again, you don't have to do it. You don't have to buy it. I'm not the one to tell you you should buy this because there's no other way to do it. No. If you purchase this ebook, you'll have all of the information right there. If you don't, you'll need to do the research. My goal, the purpose of this channel and the purpose of the ebooks was to help as many people as possible, because I've been there, man. I've been obese, I've been overweight, I know how shitty that is, I know how much it sucks, I know what I had to go through. And the most important aspect was the mental side of things. It wasn't the physical side of things, because people who accept you in life, they accept you the way that you are. If you're a bit overweight, so be it. If people like, they will still like you if you're a bit overweight. But for me, the biggest change was up here. The way I perceive myself, my anxiety levels, my energy levels, of course, because that's a physical one, but that also helps with the mental side of things. If you feel good physically, you also feel good mentally, and the other way around. So for me, the biggest issue was my self-esteem. I had really, really low self-esteem. I wasn't going at parties, I wasn't going to the pool, I wasn't going on vacation, I wasn't going anywhere, because everywhere I needed to take my shirt off was out of reach for me. I was so self-conscious about the way I looked. It was a real pain in the ass to deal with that. Once I lost all the weight and I was confident with how my body looks, my personality actually changed, man. I became a more pleasant person. I became a calmer person. When you're that much overweight and you have that much anxiety and you have that low self-esteem, you create a barrier for yourself. You become sort of an asshole, but it's just a defense mechanism. So most of the people who have a terrible personality, in most cases they struggle with something else that causes it. And if you see them overweight, obese, that's the main issue for it. I've been there, I have been the asshole. And I can firmly tell you that once I reached my goals, once I was happy with the way I looked, once I could look in the mirror and be pleased with what I saw there, then that personality was gone. I was a different person altogether. That is what I want for you guys. That is what I want to achieve with my ebooks. That is the message I want to send in order to help others not go through what I have. And if they do go through what I have, I want to help them get out of that situation, because it really sucks. Okay, and the second book, of course, is my lowest calorie cookbook, because no matter how much information you have, no matter how hard you train, you can't outrun a bad diet. You have to get your nutrition in check, and what other way to provide the awesome recipes than through a cookbook? But how did this come to be? How did I make this cookbook? It all started out a few years back after I discovered calorie tracking apps and started tracking my food, started to see what high calorie versus low calorie food is. In a few short months, I have changed the way I eat, and I've moved over to low calorie dense foods. But now I needed to learn how to cook these low calorie foods and make them into proper meals, so I can keep satisfied, keep full, and make this a sustainable diet, not just a crash diet like all of the others before it. So I began experimenting. As you can already tell, I love cooking, it relaxes me. I'm in the kitchen most of the time, in my spare time. So this ebook started as just a list. I can't remember all of these recipes. I just make them, I experiment with them. But if I have to make it again, I can't make it from memory. You have to have a memory like none other in order to remember all of those ingredients, all of those steps, everything. So of course I needed to write them down. I started out on paper. I had tiny notes with recipes, and they all spread all over my kitchen. And then I decided, okay, this won't work any longer. I've moved them to a text file on my computer. Then I moved the text file to my phone. And I was cooking while looking at my phone, while scrolling through my recipes. When I had no idea what to cook, I was like, okay, let's see, what am I going to cook today? Let me just check. And I would scroll to the list of recipes I made, and that helped me cook the recipe, because I had all of the ingredients and all of the steps necessary. But the list got so big, I've had more and more recipes added to the list. It became a chore to scroll through, and I needed to organize it in some way, because it was just a simple list. At the time, it was nothing more. And once I added a bit of structure to it, I added a few titles. I added a calories and macro table because I had some trouble with my calorie tracking app. It deleted my account, it deleted everything I have tracked. So I had to recalculate all of the calories and macros for 30 plus recipes. That was something I didn't want to go through again, so I made the nutritional tables. I added the calories and macros along with the recipe, so I can have them for safekeeping in case everything happened to the account on the new weight tracking app. So once I had that calorie table, I had a list of recipes. It was a very simple step to just take that list forward and turn it into a fully blown cookbook. All of the recipes from back then, they are recipes that are over 5 years old, but they have been improved. I spent a lot of time improving my old recipes because some of those were really bad and not up to standards. Along with all of the recipes you saw me put out on this channel, I was also testing out and improving my previous recipes from before and bringing them to the quality of the recipes put out on my channel. I have learned a lot since starting my YouTube channel. I've learned a lot about cooking, and I had new techniques to apply, and I am certain in the future it will be the same. I will have improved techniques to apply to my recipes, and I will always improve on my previous recipes as well. So by purchasing this ebook, not only will you have access to all of my recipes, the ones that are created before starting my channel, the ones that are posted on my channel, the ones that are cookbook exclusives, because there's not just desserts in there. There are breakfast recipes, there are main courses, there are soup recipes. I'm a big advocate of soup because soup is really low in calories and it can really fill you up. It can replace an entire meal for just a fraction of the calories. So soup is really underrated in this regard. So all of these recipes will be available to you, and all of my future recipes will be available to you. And on top of that, I will continue improving all of my old content as well. Even the recipes that I put out right now, in a few months time, years time, they will become old recipes. And by then, I am 100% certain I would have learned even more on how to improve the current recipes, just as I did now since starting my YouTube channel, I was able to improve my recipes from a few years back. So right now in the ebook, you have the improved versions of my old recipes, my current, let's say present time recipes, which are since I started my YouTube channel, and you will also have all of my future recipes and all of the future improvements I bring to my old recipes free of charge for the same money. I won't charge anything extra for it. You will pay once and get all of the future recipes and all of the future improvements for the current recipes for free. Okay, enough about me rambling. I hope this video brings a bit more insight into the ebooks for anyone who is interested in them and anyone who wants to know a bit more before making that decision. Again, thank you guys for your awesome support. Thank you for the amazing feedback. You guys are awesome. And if you're watching this and trying to decide if you want to purchase the ebooks or not, just know this: you don't have to purchase the ebooks. You can get all of that information through a bit of research, and you can get most of my recipes right here on the channel, so you can watch my content and get a lot of amazing recipes, of amazing recipe ideas. So it's not a requirement. Nothing is going to change on this channel. I will still keep on putting content for you guys. I will still keep on posting recipes. In fact, the newest recipe will be filmed in about 15 minutes, because once I finish this video, I will be immediately recording my next recipe, which will come out tomorrow. You guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your awesome support, and I'll see you in the next recipe video. So see you guys then. Cheers.